Hi, everybody. My name is Richard.lesperance. I go by the name of my man Richard. Welcome to A Better Lifestyle. Today, I have the pleasure to have once again on my podcast Eric Mitchell. Eric is an entrepreneur and he wears many hats. And he's also an author. Today, we're going to talk about his book, The Why of Money. So, talk to us about the book. And I know you have, there's 5 buckets in the book. So, if you could elaborate them one by one.
Sure. Well, the book came from a place of trauma. I had a very embarrassing moment back in 2000, it would have been 2004. And one of my mentors, who to me was, I don't want to, I mean, he was a god in my life, right? Like every moment I had with him, he just dropped knowledge and wisdom on me like a waterfall. It was incredible. Super, super smart guy, tons of integrity, was living the life that I dreamed of, right? Like I literally just wanted to be this guy. And did a site visit, came to my office, and so I was in the mortgage industry, 2004, making more money than I'd ever dreamed of. And I let my team know, right? My team knew who he was and how I felt about him, and so everybody was in their best behavior. And at the end of the day, he gave me lots of great feedback, and then he hit me with this question, right? So I'm making more money than I'd ever dreamed of, and he asked me, "So what are you gonna do with the money? Like, why is making this much money important to you?" And I remember not knowing the context of the question. Like, I couldn't understand the question. Like in my brain, it's like, because it's money. What? What do you mean? Why do I want money? Because it's money. What? And the look on his face, it was the first time I saw disappointment, and it crushed me, man. I mean, it just cracked my soul. And so we talked about it. He was super gracious, but I'll never forget the look on his face. We're still great friends to this day. But it shot me on this journey of I need a better answer. Like that's not a good answer. And so what are other people's answers? How would they answer that question? And so I started talking to anybody that was, so the criteria was if you're making more than $1 million a year and you sell for a living. So real estate, mortgage, financial planning, CPA, photocopiers, cars, I don't care. If you sell for a living and you make more than $1 million a year, why? Because you don't need $1 million a year. I mean, we all want $1 million a year, right? I mean, who doesn't want it? But you don't need it. Like you can live on a lot less. And so in that journey, I learned that 99% of salespeople sell enough every month to make a living, but then they stop. They go for barbecues, they go for friends, they watch TV, but they stop selling. And 1% of salespeople don't stop. They just keep going and they earn way more than they need and they build wealth. Okay, what's the difference? And so I would ask, like, to this top 1%, and I interviewed hundreds, if not thousands, before writing my thesis, my outline for the book. And so what I noticed was because I'm very cerebral, right? My brain functions in zeros and ones. I'm very left brained. And I noticed that all the answers coming back from the top 1% were only in 5 categories. They were subsets of these 5 categories. And I mean, that's just not a coincidence. Like every answer is coming back in 5 categories. There's no sixth category. And when I talk to people that are in the 99%, they give me radically different answers. Like, why do you want more money? And so the 99% say things like, I want security. I want to buy investment properties. I want to retire one day. I want life balance. Right? That's the 99%. The 1%? No. No, those aren't those answers. And I'll give you the 5 categories, and so I wrote down the 5 categories and then I started testing it. Like, is this what it is? And so I'd go back to the 1%. I'd say, here's what I noticed, right? 5 categories, like, yeah, that's exactly how it works. It's like, and every single one, like every single one. And then if I talk to the 99%, they fight me. They argue with me. No, that's not how it works, Eric. Yeah, that's why you're stuck in the 99%, because that's what you believe to be true. That's your reality, right? And so you're never gonna make money, not real money, because of your belief system, not because of your skills or you're not worthy or you what you believe to be true is not serving you. And so I wrote the two-page treatment. A friend of mine sent it to a book publisher, right? They asked me to prove my theory, so I proved it. There's a video on my website about it. And they said, "Yep, write the book." And so I wrote the book, and here we are. So questions, or you want me to go into the five categories?
Yeah, the five categories, because I know them because I listen to the podcast, but for other people who don't know.
Sure. So category number one is some sort of lifestyle enhancement. And so there can be a misinterpretation of that. It's not, people aren't making money or building wealth because they want to drive a Ferrari, right? Like they might drive a Ferrari, that might be, but that's not the driver. The driver is, I came from somewhere bad and I'm never going back, right? I came from a third. So, like, if you can make a picture of a family that moved to the United States from a third world country and they buy a 7-Eleven and the entire family works in this 7-Eleven and they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like they're nonstop. That's the type of family that's just going to outwork you. They'll just outwork you. Like they don't care. They're just never going back, right? And so they look at it and say, I get to keep everything I earn. Well, I'm just going to outwork you. And I see it in the immigrant community all the time. They'll just outwork you because they don't want to go back. If you look at Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, right? Like how did they build, these billion-dollar fortunes? They outwork you. Like these guys work hard, like hard, because they came from nothing and they're never going to go back to that. Like that's the driver. At least it was initially, right? They just worked hard. And so one is you just don't want to go back. It's an away from, right? I don't want to go back to where I was. Two is emotional gratification. So, like, and that drove me for 30 years. I finally achieved it and I collapsed it. But emotional gratification is, your dad didn't hug you enough. Your mom told you you were bad. Your grade one teacher told you you were stupid, something, right? And you're looking for a moment to prove somebody wrong or to achieve a moment of a single moment of significance, right? It might be you're going to the Olympics and you want to win a gold medal, right? And you're being driven by something. But to win a gold medal at the Olympics, I mean, you're driven by something, man. Like something's driving you, right? Making your parents proud, something. Like it's not like a normal human doesn't win a gold medal at the Olympics, right? Like you have to be training 7 days a week, nonstop, no friends, no life, no, right? That comes from something. And the same as being an entrepreneur, right? If you're going to build wealth, you have to break through barriers that will mentally, emotionally, spiritually make you bloody. There's no other way. You have to break through them. And so achieving a certain moment can be a driver, right? And I achieved that emotional gratification of achieving the moment that people told me I couldn't get, right? So that could be a driver. Third is opportunities for your children, right? You're living in the wrong school district. You need to buy a bigger, better, badder house because you want to create opportunities for your kids. And I hear people say that all the time, I'll do anything for my kids. And I'm not a parent, right? So I'm not qualified to tell you what you should or shouldn't do as a parent, right? But I hear the words, I'll do anything for my kids. And so my next question is, do you watch TV? Well, yeah. Well, then you're not. If you're numbing out by watching TV, then you're not building wealth. You're not building opportunities for your children. You're numbing out. You're trying to get away from hardships in your life instead of busting through them. That's what watching TV is. I don't watch TV. My TV's not even hooked up. I have a TV. It's not plugged in, literally. So opportunities for your children could be a driver. Number four is taking care of your parents. There's certain cultures that caring for your parents is very important. And most of our parents are not prepared for retirement. Life longevity has stretched, it's gone further, right? And so our parents are not financially prepared to live till they're 90, 95. They don't have the money. And so a lot of Gen Xers and Gen Y, et cetera, we're looking at our parents going like, we have to care for you, right? I need to earn way more money because I gotta build an ADU in my backyard. I gotta put my parents my mom or dad in a care facility. Like I can't not sell for a living. Like this is important. So that's number four. Number five is legacy. Like you want to put a footprint on the planet that's permanent. You know, you want to build a school, you want to build a hospital, you want to achieve some sort of level of significance. And so, like an easy example of those five would be Janis Joplin, right? A singer in the 70s and 60s and 70s. And so her driver, she had a driver, which was to be the number one female recording artist on the planet. Number one, right? And she achieved it. She was number one. So, but in the achievement of it, the driver collapsed. Like when you achieve that emotional gratification, the driver is no longer there because you got it. But if you don't replace the driver, there's a hole, there's an emptiness, right? And when you have a hole, when there's emptiness, good things don't happen, right? Bad things happen. And so she turned to drugs, became a drug addict, died because she didn't replace the driver. There's no purpose anymore. And so when I achieved my emotional gratification, which I did, and the driver collapsed, I had to replace it with uh, legacy. So right now, my legacy is I'm trying to pay respect to my grandfather's teachings, and that's a longer story. But you know, my legacy is to create a permanent footprint based on the teachings of my grandfather.
Do you think most people can go into entrepreneurship?
No, oh my God, no, no. Most people, no, you have no business being an entrepreneur because you're one of the greatest books ever written is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, right? And it clearly describes the myth of being an entrepreneur. Here's what people think it is, but here's what it really is. And no, the vast majority of people should not try and be an entrepreneur at all. Like it does not fit you. And that's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person, right? Like I'm not saying entrepreneurs are better than non-entrepreneurs. No, like we all get to vote. We all get one vote. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you do for a living. We all get one vote. You can live an amazing life not being an entrepreneur, right? It's not correlated. And so, but to be an entrepreneur, you have to there has to be a driver in one of those five buckets, in one of those five categories. And the video on my website where I prove the theory is I choose a random person in the audience who has small children, and I play a game, right? What are you willing to do for money, right? Like, and you've seen them on TV probably. Hey, there's a piece of gum on the ground, you know, pick it up and put it in your mouth and chew it. No, I'll give you $1,000. Oh, okay, right. And so, okay, what are we willing to do for money? And that's a job. Like, what are we willing to trade? How much risk are we willing to do? Right. And then we get to the end, and I create the pain to be so huge that they stop. Right? No. Well, I'll pay you $1 million. No. $100 million. No, I'm not doing that. Great. Your kid dies if you don't. Oh, now I'm doing it. Ah, okay. Okay. There it is. So if your activities are based on the driver, then you don't stop. There's no stop. Like you just run over people. Like it doesn't like and I when I say run over people, it doesn't mean use people or manipulate or coerce. That's not no, none of that's correlated, right? It's just you don't allow the people in your life to stop you because they want to stop you. Like the people closest to you, you have to understand this. The people closest to you don't want you to succeed. They don't, because that means change. It means you're better than. And they don't want that. Nobody wants to feel like someone close to them is better than they are, right? And so they hold you back. And it's not on purpose. They're not doing it on purpose. It's all subconscious. I see it all the time. Like people, they're still friends with the people they went to elementary school with, right? All the way, like all the way, their whole rest of their life. It's like, that's serving you? Like, are they just holding you back? Because it's comfortable. It's what you know. And I'm not saying don't be friends with them. That's not what I'm saying either. Just assess it. Like, why am I still friends with this person? Is that serving me? Is it comfortable? Are they asking me to grow as a person? Am I achieving all the things in my life that I know I could achieve? What would I have to shift into? And so recently I had to create a shift. I gained some weight, right? Didn't like it. And so a friend of mine is a world class wrestler, right? He went to the world championships and placed, right? Like he's a world class wrestler. And so I asked him, like, when a lot of people say, "What do you do?" Right? Oh, I eat this and I exercise that. I said, I know what to do, right? You eat less, exercise more. Like I know. We all know what to do. I don't want to ask him what to do. I want to ask him, how do you think? As a world class wrestler, how do you think? Like you get up in the morning, what's the first thoughts? Give me the top three first thoughts coming to your head every morning the moment you open your eyes. And before you go to sleep at night, what are the last three things you think about? Right? And he walked me through it. I was like, oh yeah, that's not what I'm thinking about. Okay, okay, hold on. I need to create some shifts here, right? Because that's good stuff. Like what he's just handed me, really good, valuable information. Now, what can I do with that information? Can I implement it, or did I just go, oh yeah, that was great information. Now I know the information, but I'm not acting on it. Then you might as well not know the information if you don't act on it. If I want to lose the weight, then I have to think like he thinks, which I had to change my belief systems. Like it's not a little thing to change your behavior. It's a very big thing. And the only way you'll do it is you have to latch on to things that they're going to force that change.
So, what do you say to someone who has the desire of making more money, but
First question is, why do you want the money?
but they don't have the fire of an entrepreneur?
Then they don't know why they want the money. So here's one of my favorite stories. I was talking to a real estate agent, and she had an accent, and so I asked her. And we were having a similar discussion, right? She was asking me about the book and asking me about, how do I, you know, live up to my potential. I said, okay, well, let's talk about it. So if you had $1 million, what would you do with it? And she went into the normal, oh, I'd invest it and I'd create, structures and I'd sit with a financial planner. And I was like, yeah, no, you're not going to do it then. What do you mean I'm not going to do it? So here's what I've learned. If you are telling me your reason for being, your why, right? If you're not weeping while you're describing it, then you're giving me surface stuff. You're not giving me the real core reason. And so, but who wants to cry, right? You don't want to be on a Zoom call and sitting there weeping, right? And so we resist that, and that's okay. So I asked her, can I ask you some questions? Let's see if we can uncover it. She said, yeah, sure. I said, so I hear an accent. Like, where are you from? And I'm pretty sure it was from Nicaragua that she was from. I'm trying to work from memory. But I said, okay, so you're from Nicaragua. Can you describe the story, how you got here? And she had to stop. And she's like, oh, hold on. I said, oh, 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 oh. we got a good this we hit a trigger here. Hold on. Yeah, take your time, but we got something here because she had to stop. She said, it's because of my dad. I said, okay, what'd your dad do? It's like, oh, he sacrificed everything. Like to get us here. It cost him everything. I said, is your dad still alive? It's like, yeah. You're close to him? Oh, he's my everything. "Ah, okay, okay, hold on. So he's from Nicaragua. He's your everything. He's your parent, right? Caring for your parents. It's the fourth bucket, right? So let's dive into this, see if we can get somewhere. I said, what's your dad's favorite sport? Like, is it soccer? I'm thinking Nicaragua, like I'm guessing, right? He goes, yeah, soccer. How'd you know? So it's Central America, soccer. It's like saying Canada, hockey. It's odds are pretty good, right? And so, yeah, soccer. I said, great. Can you ask your dad in passing what school he went to when he was a kid? It's like, yes, but why? I said, okay, so you can get the town or the city or wherever, and you can get the school. Yeah. What would it cost you to build a soccer field? Like a sports field, basketball, soccer, the whole shebang in Nicaragua. Like it can't be that much. Like, I don't know, $50,000 would build it, maybe $100,000, somewhere around there. What would it cost? What would it cost to build it? Put a big sign up and name the entire facility after your dad on the school that he went to. And then you get a private plane and you fly your family down to Nicaragua for the unveiling. And there's the mayor, the principal, the teachers, the kids. And they pull the tarp down and there's a marching band. And there your dad looks up. And I still get choked up, man. And there your dad looks up and sees the sign with his name on it. And you get to turn to him and let him know that what he sacrificed was worth it. Right? She's weeping, like tears are just streaming down her face. Right? Okay, what does that cost you? Tell me what that costs. $150,000? It's a number. Don't put an emotion behind it. It's a number. Let's say $150,000 for everything. Okay, how many houses you got to sell? Seven? Right? You're in California. You sell seven houses, seven extra houses. Right? Because you got to sell houses to make a living. So this is extra. Can you sell seven extra houses to create that moment? She's like, oh, whoever gets in my way, I'm just going to run over them. There we go. Now, that's a driver, right? But when you don't know what you're going to do with the money, which is most humans, like because we resist getting emotional like that, right? It doesn't feel good, right? We're scared of it. Like I don't want to be vulnerable like that. It's like, okay, well, how's that working out for you?
Mm.
And so she lit the world on fire.
I'm gonna go with the last question. How, what's the best ways to attract investors?
Investors for your business?
Yeah, for your business, if you're trying to raise capital.
Well, so raising capital is what's in it for the investor. And I'm going to say to you, you have to clearly define your exit strategy. What are you building? Great. What's the exit? Right? I'm not investing in your business so that you can just have my money for the next 20 years. Man, I'll buy a bond. I'll buy bonds if that's what I wanted to invest in. Right? Like, what are you building? And then are you going to sell the company? Are you going to do an IPO? Are you going to take the company public? If so, how? Why? What's unique and valuable about what you have and you're offering? And if you don't have a patent or some sort of proprietary something, it's very hard to attract investors these days. Right? I was talking to a gentleman the other night, and he started a clothing line, And he was talking to me about attracting investors because he has this unique ability style. We'll call it, he has a unique style. Okay. And I said, okay, so like, what's your exit strategy? He said, what do you mean? Okay, right away we have a problem, right? Like, so if I invest in your business, like, what's in it for me? He says, well, you'll get returns every year. I can do that in real estate, brother. Right? Like, it's a lot safer for me to do that in real estate than it is to invest in your clothing business. Like, I need to understand, like, what's your goal? Our goal is to have like 6 or 7 stores. 6 or 7. No, like you're not. No, there's no vision here. Like you have no proprietary anything. You have a style, but if you get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? What happens to the company? No, no, I'm good. And so, as an entrepreneur, like it's different. I mean, if you're trying to attract money from family and friends that just want to help you, great. But if you're trying to attract real money, you have to clearly define the gold medal moment. What's our exit? How do we get out of this? How do you get your money back plus a massive return? That's what investors are looking for. How do I get my money back and a massive return? Not just get a 12% return per year. That's not exciting for anybody. I can do that in real estate. I don't need you for that. That would be my feedback.
I believe is the book still available on Amazon?
It is, yep. The Why of Money, Eric Mitchell. The link's also on my website, eric-mitchell.com. So it's ERIC-mitchell.com. All my information's there, including access to the book on Amazon.
Any other places people could reach you, or do you have any social media or any
Yeah,
other?
all my links are on the same website, eric-mitchell.com. All my social media links are there, contact information. It's very robust.
Okay. Last words in regards to entrepreneurship and financial freedom that people are not telling us.
Yeah, so financial freedom, right? Like what is that? Because I hear like that's a very sexy sound bite that I feel creates confusion because people don't even know what that means, financial freedom, right? Oh, I have $1 million. I'm financially free. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not even close. You're not even close. That's not, no. And so, what I would wish for everybody is to get knowledge around fiscal responsibility to their family. That's what if I could make a wish, that would be it. Like learn money. It's something you can learn. Read books, a lot of books. What does it mean to build a business? What does it mean to learn how to be a leader? Because I hear that all the time. Oh, I'm a great leader. It's like, no, you like to listen to yourself talk, but that doesn't make you a great leader. I've never heard a great leader say they're a great leader. I've never heard that, right? Like they just do. They don't talk about being a great leader. They just are a great leader because they've learned how. Someone taught them how to be a good leader. Um, whether it be a leader of your family, leader of your team, leader of your business, um, and learning just money. Because most people think, oh, I know money. It's like, really? What's a balance sheet? What's a profit and loss statement? What's a cash flow statement? What's the difference between the three? Right? And if you don't know, then you shouldn't be running a business. You shouldn't be an entrepreneur.
So
Right?
what about someone who wants to become a millionaire or a billionaire?
What are you going to do with the money? Like, if you don't know what you're going to do with the money, then you won't make the sacrifices required to get there. Because people talk about life balance, right? You know who has life balance? Rich people. You know who doesn't have life balance? People that are worried about a paycheck. If you're worried about money, you already don't have balance. And so, the Oprah Winfrey's of the world and the Bill Gates of the world, they didn't have balance. They didn't build their empires by having balance. They have balance now, but they sure didn't. You know, the famous stories about Bill Gates, his secretary would come in at 8 o'clock in the morning, turn on the lights of the office, and walk into his office, and he's asleep on his desk. Like his head's on the desk, asleep. And she would wake him up, bring him a cup of coffee, and he would wake up. Oh, thank you very much. And boom, he's back on his computer. That's not balance. You know, Elon Musk, and I know he's controversial right now, and I'm not saying you should like him or not like him, but when he was building Tesla, he would sleep on the factory floor, right? He's on the factory floor sleeping at night. Like he didn't leave. That's not balance. And so if you prioritize balance, yeah, you're not going to achieve anything. Like that's not there's I've never met a human that achieved significance with balance. I haven't met that person yet. You think an Olympic athlete has balance? No. No, that's not how it works.
Can you share in 2 minutes the story of the person that they told him if he'd lost everything, what would he do in 2 minutes?
Well, I guess that story would depend on who, what they've already achieved. But so I look at what I've learned to call floors of support and ceilings of resistance, ceilings of complexity. And so if I make $100,000 a year, right, that's now a floor of support, meaning I know how to make $100,000 a year. I know what the activities are. I can make $100,000 a year. But the ceiling I'm bumping up against is going to be $250,000 a year. And then once I break through $250,000 a year, that now becomes a floor because I know how to make $250,000 a year. I know what the activities are. And so I'm not going to go below that. But my next ceiling is 500,000. So you go through floors and ceilings, and each time you have to change. But if you're making $5 million a year, $10 million a year, $20 million a year, and something happens, you lose everything, you know what the activities are to build it all back. You've already done it. You just go back to the activities. And so somebody who's built a business and they've broken through all those ceilings of complexity, they know what they are. They could lose it. They can make one bad decision, lose everything, and then rebuild it because they know what the activities are. The challenge is most salespeople, and that's really what I'm talking about, is people who sell for a living. If you invent tech, right, that's a totally different subject. But if you sell for a living and your activities are what they are, but you're not breaking through ceilings of complexity. Like I hear it all the time. Oh, Eric, I've been in real estate 20 years. Okay, how many deals did you close last month? One. No. You haven't been in business 20 years. You've been in business 1 year 20 times. Because you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not adapting, you're not team building, there's nothing going on here. And so understanding that time does not mean that you're good at it, right? Adapting, changing, modifying, improving, team building, leadership, that's what determines your income, not time in doing what you're doing. Because if you practice badly, then you'll stay bad, right? You have to learn how to do it better. And so anybody who's achieved greatness and they lose it, they get it back.
All right. Thanks, Eric, for doing these 2 episodes with me. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody found some value in that episode. So it's something that I wanted to do. On that note, everybody, thank you for taking the time to listen to the podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome.